Good morning to everyone. Welcome to El Pilar Orchids for a very special edition tour of orchids in the classroom, a little orchid collaboration video. We should have a couple other videos from orchid YouTubers and who also happen to be teachers. So obviously myself, but also this weekend we've got Melissa from Melissa Loves Orchids. And she is a grade 4 teacher down in Florida. So she will be doing a little video of orchids in her classroom. And I think we should also hear from William Green from Colorado. And he is from My Green Pets is his channel name, if you're not familiar. And I think he does 6th or 7th grade. I think he's also middle school. But in Colorado. So there's a little collaboration. Oh, by the way, we'll link to the other videos down in the description. Oh, look at how just messy the classroom gets after a day. It's like, I don't know, these desks just move on their own. By the way, I have a grade 7. This is a grade 7 homeroom. So that is my grade level for homeroom. I teach grade 7 through 11, regular science as well as chemistry and biology for upper school. So yeah, I got a full schedule, which is why it's hard to film. This is an east-facing window, so I'm really lucky to have an east-facing window in the classroom. We get nice bright morning sun. In the afternoon, it's pretty bright, but it stays nice and warm in this room. You can open the windows, so the windows are often ventilated for just for health purposes. Unfortunately, there is a playground right down here out of the window, and out in the playground, it's kind of dusty, so there's constantly kids out there playing, and when we have the windows open, oh my gosh, it's amazing how dusty the leaves of the orchids get. These plants have been here maybe a couple months now, and it's probably time to dust the leaves, so I'll have to talk to that with the plant watering group. My thing here is that I have the students take care of the plants. So we have students that have jobs in the homeroom, and I have some plant prefects that water the plants every week. The succulents they water once a month. That's their schedule, right? Around the first of the month, they know to water those. And yeah, so the kids take care of it. Now, honestly, I kind of keep an eye on them. And if I see, like, for instance, sometimes they don't I am letting them grow and experiment with one of the strap-leaf Paphiopedilums. This one, the Robolini. So I'm letting them grow this here this year and experiment, but they aren't really given the PAF enough water, so I will sometimes top it up when they're not looking. But otherwise, I basically give them control of the plants. They water, they do everything. I have students from years past come and try to train the new people on what to do, just so I don't have to do it. Of course, I oversee and I give pointers as far as what I want. And they follow my basic watering routine that I use at home, which is just soaking the plants, right, for 20 minutes to sometimes they'll let them go longer if they can't fit it in their schedule to empty them. And then I have a drain bucket at the back of the room. Now the flash has to come on because I don't have the lights on. Here's my drain bucket. So they did water yesterday. I have to take this now and I do a process where I empty it and kind of filter it into the toilet so none of these heavy, debris goes down into the toilet and the system. But that's one of the things the kids try to keep all of the debris out and really keep their watering clean because we have carpets here and they know that they can't leave a bunch of stuff around. So not like me at home where I just splash water everywhere, and they're really good. So they just water them in here. They fill them up on the windowsill, and then they take this up front and then just drain all the plants right into here, and then I drain it. With Environmental Club yesterday, I didn't have time to drain it, so I got to do that here. These plants are ones that we just keep at school, but then bring home in the summertime. And we kind of keep them grouped together and grow the same ones. Although we have some new additions, like this is the Maxillaria picta. And so this plant, we've brought this year. It was outside and just, yeah, didn't do so great. We had it really cooking, and yeah, so it's kind of in recovery. Yeah, it's mostly orchids, some no ID phals that have been given to us or we have bought. Trying one of our cattleyas here. And check out the new growth looking good on this cattleya. So it's apparently likes it here at the school. It's doing okay. Here's a snake plant. We took my old snake plant and chopped it up, gave 2 away to different teachers here at school. So that's growing a nice new sprout after chopping. And then this plant is the Wasner mucka, the Wasner mosquito. And this guy, of course, it's going to swing around. So this guy is always in bloom, and that's why we grew this plant here at school, just to keep the kids kind of going and give them, something that's always happening, because they constantly bloom. The Vosnermucka, we had several of them. We gave a bunch away to other teachers. There's one hanging out down in the primary wing. I have no idea if it's still alive. Haven't seen it in over 2 years, but the Vosnermucka in bloom always. Yeah, that's a good one to have. The scale, the balance here was environmental club yesterday at the very end of the day, and this balance we use to mass how much garbage we collect every week. So we have, I run the environmental club as well here, and so we have a couple students, like 2 teams that go out and collect garbage from around campus every week, and then we weigh it and we keep a running total of how much garbage we collect, just to pump up the club. Some antique instruments, that's sciencey stuff. And then, of course, we have a grade 10 biology exam of what are we studying except orchid pollination and propagation, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So this is obviously my favorite chapter for biology. And, I get to sit here and pollinate an orchid in front of them and just, pretend I'm a bee. We just watched the National Geographic little short video on photographing the pollinating the ghost orchids down in Florida. So we watched that short video clip today. It is Oktoberfest Spirit Day here at school. I've got my lederhosen on. It's like, everybody in Germany wears lederhosen and yodels, obviously, right? So this is the one day of the year that I get to wear my lederhosen and celebrate. Woo! Now this is what's frustrating. This is kind of where the succulents, so we do grow some succulents and a little cacti there, and this begonia, and the Oncidium shari baby is growing here this year. We're trying it here. This has always been an experiment plant, not blooming for us when it should be, but yeah, anyway. The kids are great with the plants, and honestly, the worst people are some of the teachers. I hate to say it. Most of the teachers love plants and are very good with them, but there's some that just really don't care. And like you saw, maybe I had to put it back because someone had put it into the lost and found box here and left it there yesterday. I didn't notice it at the end of the day when I was busy with the club. But at our school, we rotate, so I'm not in this class most of the time, and there's other teachers and other classes in here. And thankfully, a quick chat on a positive note, me and my partner, the boss, and now wife, the boss, we've tried growing plants for several years. Now after 4 years of trying really hard, we finally have gotten to the point where the last couple of years we don't have really any vandalism. The plants are pretty much respected. A couple of years ago, I had a stapler, secret stapler person that was, putting staples in the leaves of my succulent. One of these guys here, actually, another cutting of it. And eventually it lost a bunch of leaves. I will say the succulents are probably the ones that are the most delicate, and so the kids, a lot of times through not malice, but they're just curiosity, they'll come up and try to feel the leaves, and pull on it, and especially these guys, like in the winter when they get a little bit dry, you know, the leaves just pop right off, and then you'll see like someone just secretly tossed a bunch of leaves in the corner. But other than that, honestly, for the last 2 years, we've had nothing but really positivity with the plants. So I ran over to the Biolab real quick because we're very lucky also here to have a nice Biolab, which is where I have some classes through the day. And yeah, that begonia was a cutting that we gave to the lab, and a lot of these geraniums we've take cuttings from, and we give cuttings to the other teacher who runs the lab. And yeah, it's got some cactus growing that we get pieces of occasionally. So yeah, really lucky. Now these plants are all used for different like experiments and things by the students. The curriculum, they have to run little self-run experiments, so they'll use a lot of these plants in those experiments. Show the boss's office real quick. These are just a couple of her plants she has next to her desk. The Mother of Thousands and her Christmas cactus, and then this ficus, which, yeah, we grew outside. It's seen better days, but it's getting some new growths. So that's good. Likes it here.
But
looks nice. Yeah, in the library.
Also, you don't have to get them too much water, but then
well, and this one maybe looks like it had some kind of insects or something that had damaged it. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it'll recover though. It's looking good.
Yeah.
Just in the library, a couple plants that we donate here to the librarian and to make our school nice. Yeah. Oh, this is Presidium Shooting Stars, black gold. And yes, part of my thing is to give other teachers plants. I donate a lot of plants and, well, give them to other teachers just to kind of promote, you know, plants in the school and in the classroom. And yeah, finally in my office, I gotta talk quiet. Still working at the end of the day. Plants that I have growing at school, the Maxillaria. I almost sold to a colleague of mine yesterday, but then, yeah, decided to swap it out. He got another plant instead. And some of the Paphiopedilums, this is the Max Schunkiana. Yeah, our No ID Orange Cattleya type, or Sophronitis, or whatever it is about to bloom. You can't see it, but there's a bud down in this sheath, so that's exciting. Keep you posted there. Brought the cutting from the SVO Black Pearl. It's this guy, Fred Clarkiara, brought that in. And just some cuttings, random other plants that I've got laying around, and school supplies. So. All right, so finally home after school and back in my happy place with the orchids at home. Can kind of reflect on the day, which I always try to do, reflect on the interactions and what happened throughout the day. Try to focus on some of those positives and recap the lesson from today, which for me, one of the important things here at El Pilar, and one of my main things is, of course, education, obviously, but having fun and making things more interesting throughout the educational experience. I think it's also important to pass along the love of orchids and growing houseplants to the younger generations, because they're the ones that are going to keep this thing going, and people don't get exposed to some of these things, I think, at a young age. Then, you know, they may not be so inclined later on in life. You know, I owe it to my grandmother for getting me into plants at about the age that, you know, I teach in grade 7 in middle school. For me, that was a really important time, and I'm really thankful that I had some of those experiences. I'm glad that I can provide some of those experiences for my students, and I know that some of them that are still at the school, who are now, you know, 4 or 5 years on, they grow houseplants, different types, and are always excited to share their experiences with me and what they're growing and what they're trying at home. Some of them are doing vegetables now, and a few of them still have the snake plants that I've given them over the years, because I try to give a plant to the plant waterers at the end of the year as like a little reward for doing such a good job. Thanks to you, Melissa, from Melissa Loves Orchids, again, for being willing to kind of do this collaboration and give me a reason to actually get this video together and put it out. Hopefully, William, we hear from you if we haven't gotten your video here of your terrarium going on in the classroom. Thanks, guys. Hope you're having a good one, and we will see you back here at El Pilar soon.